Hello students, welcome to Microbyte series in chemistry. In this lecture, I am going to talk about the tips and tricks in epimers. Okay, let's get started. First of all, what are epimers? Epimers are stereoisomers, specifically diastereomers, which differ in the configuration of only one chiral carbon. Generally, the epimers are found in carbohydrate chemistry, so I took carbohydrates as examples. Here I took D-aldohexoses. In aldohexoses, in D-aldohexoses, there are 8 isomers possible. These are the 8 isomers: D-allose, D-altrose, D-glucose, D-mannose, D-gulose, D-iodose, D-galactose, and D-talose. Here, suppose if I take allose and altrose, okay, see the Fischer projections for allose and altrose are given here. If you observe the two projections, this is carbon 1, this is carbon 2. See here, in carbon 2, the OH group in the Fischer projection is in the right hand side of allose. In altrose, in the second carbon, the OH group is present in the left hand side. All other carbons have same structure, see, okay, same orientations are there. Therefore, these two are epimers, because these two structures differ only in one chiral carbon. Okay, so if two stereoisomers differ in the configuration of only one chiral carbon, then they are called epimers. So allose and altrose are C2 epimers. This is carbon number 2, so it is called C2 epimers. Okay, now see, we have totally 8 isomers here. In these 8 isomers, we have different possible epimers. Okay, so how to remember the possible epimers in these 8 isomers? Here I have given a simple trick. You see, in the left hand side, I took AgGuGal. You just remember in this manner: Ag-gugal, Ag-gugal, and this side alt-MIT. Alt-MIT. A means allose. This is altrose, glucose, mannose, gulose, iodose, galactose, and talose. Okay, here these are C2 epimers, that is allose and altrose are C2 epimers, glucose and mannose are C2 epimers, gulose and iodose are C2 epimers. Similarly, galactose and talose are C2 epimers. Okay, so remember this order. Okay, Ag-gugal, alt-MIT, and these two are C2 epimers, these two are C2 epimers, these two are C2 epimers, and these two are also C2 epimers. Okay, then Ag, that is allose and glucose. Allose and glucose are C3 epimers. Similarly, gulose and galactose are C3 epimers. Okay, altrose and mannose are C3 epimers. Similarly, iodose and talose are C3 epimers. Okay, it is very easy to identify the epimers, okay, if you write in this manner. Okay, similarly, this allose and gulose are C4 epimers, glucose and galactose are C4 epimers, right? Similarly, altrose and iodose are C4 epimers, mannose and talose are C4 epimers, right? So this is a very simple method to remember the epimers of aldohexoses. Okay, so here I have given the collective informations. Okay, see, the in the horizontal line represents C2 epimers. Okay, 1, 2, similarly 3 and 4, right? 1, 2 and 3 and 4 are C3 epimers. Similarly here 1, 2, 3 and 4 are C3 epimers. 1 and 3, 2 and 4 are C4 epimers. So here I have given the collective picture of all the epimers in aldohexoses, D-aldohexoses specifically, right? Then similarly, if you take ketohexoses, here I took D-ketohexoses. In D-ketohexoses, we have 4 possible isomers: cyclose, fructose, sorbose, and tagatose. Okay, here also we have possible epimers, right? How to remember the possible epimers of these 4? Okay, cyclose, fructose, sorbose, and tagatose. Okay, so I am going to take like this: cyclose, fructose. Just remember like this: PF in horizontal manner, PF and ST, PF, ST. Okay, cyclose and fructose are C3 epimers. In ketohexoses, C2 epimers does not exist. Okay, so it starts from C3 only. Okay, so cyclose and fructose are C3 epimers. Sorbose and tagatose are C3 epimers. Cyclose and sorbose are C4 epimers. Fructose and tagatose are C4 epimers. Okay, it's a very simple trick and very easy to remember. Okay, then now what is the difference between anomers and epimers? Epimers differ in the configuration of only one chiral carbon, and this chiral carbon is non-specific, and it can be any chiral carbon. What is meant by this? Suppose if I take allose and altrose. Allose and altrose are epimers. They have different configuration in carbon number 2. Similarly, if I take allose and glucose are epimers. They have different in configuration in carbon number 3. Similarly, if you take allose and gulose are epimers. They differ in the configuration of carbon number 4. So, in epimers, the different in configuration occurs in any one of the chiral carbon. It need not be always C2, it need not be always C3. Okay, so the epimerization arises in C2 or C3 or C4. Okay, so it can be of any chiral carbon. So this is not specific, right? Whereas if you take anomers also differ in the configuration of only one chiral carbon. Okay, so similar to epimer, this also differ in the configuration of only one chiral carbon, but this chiral carbon is always a hemiacetal or an acetal carbon. See what is the meaning? Here I have given D-glucose as an example. This is the open chain structure of D-glucose. Okay, when the hydroxy group present in carbon number 5, okay, reacts with the aldehyde group, we know very well the reaction between an aldehyde and an alcohol, okay, will give you an hemiacetal. Okay, so here we will get 2 possible hemiacetals. One is called alpha D-glucopyranose, the other one is called beta D-glucopyranose. If we observe the 2 structure, they differ in the configuration of only this carbon. Actually, this is carbon number 1. Okay, in the open site structure, the carbon number 1 is actually aldehyde carbon. So that aldehyde carbon becomes the anomeric carbon. Because of this anomeric carbon, we will get 2 isomers. Okay, and these 2 isomers differ, okay, in the configuration of the aldehydic carbon. Okay, so if you take any anomers, right, you take any anomers, okay, in all anomers the difference in configuration arises only in the anomeric carbon. Okay, or we can say it is the carbonyl carbon in the open chain structure. Okay, so it is always specific in nature. Okay, this is the difference between epimers and anomers. Okay, then this is another important information. Anomers are a special case of epimers. Okay, we can say that all anomers are epimers, but all epimers are not anomers. Okay, this is very, very important. Then anomers and epimers, they are all diastereomers. Anomers are diastereomers, epimers are also diastereomers. What is meant by this? Suppose if you take alpha D-glucopyranose and beta D-glucopyranose, these 2 are anomers actually. Okay, and they do not have object and mirror image relationship. Therefore, they are diastereomers. So anomers are diastereomers. Similarly, epimers are also diastereomers. Okay, then this is the basic difference between anomers and epimers. Okay, so in epimer, the configuration differ in any one of the chiral carbon, whereas in anomers, the difference in configuration occurs only in the anomeric carbon. Okay, then similarly, if I take aldopentose, in aldopentose we have 4 possible here I have taken d-aldopentoses. In d-aldopentoses we have 4 possible isomers. Okay, these are the 4 possible isomers: d-ribose, d-arabinose, d-xylose, d-lixose. In these 4, how many epimers are possible? Okay, I have given this in this simplified form. This R represent ribose, A represent arabinose, xylose and lixose. Okay, just for to remember this, you can keep this idea in your mind. That is, right arm bowlers wear XL shirts. Okay, just remember in this way. Right arm bowlers wear XL shirts. Okay, so here this ribose and arabinose, they are C2 epimers. Similarly, xylose and lixose are C2 epimers. Okay, this is a C2 epimer, this is another C2 epimer. Whereas ribose and xylose, these two are C3 epimers. Similarly, arabinose and lixose are C3 epimers. So if you remember this, this diagram, it is very easy to identify the C2 and C3 epimers. Okay, then similarly, if you take d-ketopentoses, in the case of ketopentose, we have only 2 possible isomers exist. Okay, and these 2 differ in the configuration of carbon number 3. Okay, so this is called ribulose and this one is called xylulose. So ribulose, d-ribulose and d-xylulose are C3 epimers. Okay, yeah. So this is the information regarding epimers. Okay, here I have given some simple tricks to identify the epimers and how to remember their names. Okay, I stop here. Thank you.